All right, some of y'all have clearly lost your minds the last few days. I've seen folks buzz cutting their hair down. I've watched a couple of folks attempt to shave their own head, and you've clearly never shaved your head before. So, as someone that shaves their head basically every other day for I don't even know how long anymore, we should give you guys a couple of things that I do to keep myself from, taking chunks out of my skull, giving myself razor burn, what to do when you do cut yourself, because you will eventually cut yourself, as two of you have already found out the hard way. So, number one is, if you're doing this for the first time, go get yourself a set of clippers or the beard trimmers. Just pop the guard off, that works fine. And get it down nice and short. This, you can't really see, I don't think, but this is 2 days worth of hair growth for me. Shaved morning before yesterday. So, you want as little hair up here in the way as possible, because the hair on your head's not going to shave like the hair on any of the rest of your body unless you're a guy that shaves his legs, and even then I don't know of any of you that are that much of a gorilla, except for maybe Brian Diaz. Actually, he would have that problem. But get the hair short, get yourself a brand new fresh razor blade. I use what is it, Gillette Fusion, the one with the 5 blades. You could probably do it with less blades. I've always used the 5 blade. Like when you're 18 in high school, at least for guys, Gillette will send you a razor blade. I think they get your info when you sign up for the draft. I think that's how they get all of us. So it's what I've always used. So normally I do this when I'm in the shower. It's just easier. Got nice warm water, getting on there, soften up your skin. I do recommend shaving cream. I like the extra moisturizing stuff, just because some parts of my skin are oily, some parts of my skin are dry. My scalp tends to stay dry, and this, makes it not look like that. If you're going to start doing this all the time, though, you will quickly discover that if you are shaving your head every other day, you actually don't need this. Just regular soap will do perfectly fine. But for you first timers or you third or fourth timers, use shaving cream. You're going to make your life a lot easier. All right, so like I said, normally I would do this that is hot. Normally I would do this in the shower, but we're in the kitchen, which is great because my neighbors are probably going to be out walking around at some point in all this. So that'll be exciting. Get your razor, make sure everything's good and wet. Your shaving cream, give it a good shake. Yes, there is a difference in properly shaking shaving cream and stuff that's not, and generally it doesn't work as well. So get you a little bit and just run it around up there. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect, and part of that is just with the way I do it. So for me personally, I always start on the backside. I know my scalp very well. I know what direction my hair goes everywhere on my scalp. You'll quickly discover that your hair does not all grow in one direction on your head. I also know where moles are. That all just takes time. But since you guys are learning how to deal with this, one of the most important things is how you hold this razor. If you're putting a bunch of force on this razor, you're going to hurt yourself. There is no need whatsoever to put in a lot of force. That right there, those are the only 2 fingers that need to be doing any kind of work here, all right? And you'll see as I'm doing this. So basically I cradle it in there with the middle finger, and then thumb goes over the top, right? So it's just making it a little pivot point, all right? And you guys, you'll see from the other angles here in a moment. But that right there, that's how I can control all the pressure, and that's all the pressure you're gonna need, all right? That's shaving your scalp is all about using as little pressure as possible and always going perpendicular to the blades, all right? If you go this way, if you move these blades this way on your skin, you're gonna cut yourself open. Do not ever, 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 ever move the razor sideways against your skin. You will cut yourself. Always run with the blades, all right? Don't try and skate down them, because it will not end well for you. All right, so shaving cream's on there, and there's no real need to wait for it either, but shaving cream's on. This one is the phone that vibrates. I don't think it actually makes a difference, but I swear it does. So yeah. So for me, right, I gotta remember not to turn around because there's a camera back there for it. So as you guys are gonna notice, I chase my fingers, all right? And as you'll see, I'm going, I'm at a point now where I can actually do this in about 60 seconds, but I'm gonna try and go slow for you guys. But you'll see, right? So I'm just taking my fingers and I'm running in front. And what that does is it lets me know if, if I knocked my head on something earlier in the week and, I cut it and there's scabs up there, I'll find it with my fingers first and I know to kind of avoid it. But it also lets me know, like, did I get it good on that pass through, right? Now, something that I'm doing, you guys probably shouldn't do quite for so long, is not rinsing out the blade. It's another joy of doing this in the shower. If you're in the shower, you just stick it back there for a second and let the shower clean it out. But we do have hot water in the sink here, so we'll just carry on with that. But so as you guys noticed, right, like my fingers are staying open. I'm not putting hardly any pressure whatsoever. All right. Just very gentle, very slow, okay? And it does get a little tricky once you get to the other side of your head. That's not, basically the opposite side of whatever your dominant arm is. But I'll address that in a minute. But so just start back here on the back, right? And just go through and work on and find all of it, okay? And once you've gone through, just as long as you keep that hand running, right? I just found that spot. Okay. Now this part of your head can get a little interesting. I do end up having to, for me personally, just because, that I've got that button back there on my skull. I don't know if everyone does or not, but I end up having to put a little bit of pressure in back there to actually get the razor to get to everything. But even then, guys, it's minimal. Like, minimal. You do not want to be pushing down hard. All right, so once we start coming up around the side over here, and we'll turn it around. And same idea, minimal pressure, all right? There is no need for you to press hard. If you press hard, you're gonna end up with razor burn. You're gonna end up cutting yourself. There's just no need for it. All right, so once we get the majority of the front, yep, all right. Now at this point, if you were to stop, it'd be fine until someone runs their hand over your head and it's gonna feel crazy. So now you need to go, basically just run from the temples up to center. Same thing, all right? Very little pressure, if any at all. Honestly, just gravity is pretty much all you kind of need here. And just kind of work, I don't know, to about halfway to the back of the skull. And then, oh, that is very hot to be putting my hand in. Same thing on the other side, all right? And just go straight up. Whew. This is why I don't like doing this out of the shower. And just keep going, and don't worry too much about getting around your ears at the moment. We'll get back to that. All right. We want to get the vast majority of it done so that you can focus, because otherwise you're going to mess around if you don't get all the big stuff. And as you're dragging your fingers doing the small stuff, you're going to feel something, and you might twitch, and you might pull that razor sideways on yourself. All right. So at this point, we're feeling pretty good, right? There's a little bit back there that needs to get dealt with. And then just a little bit behind both sets of ears. This is another, I've said it 55 times. Just be gentle, very minimal pressure, all right? So for this, you're just gonna follow the curve of your ear, okay? And then just try and keep mimicking, that quarter or a third of a circle's worth of range of motion. All right, and just keep going out just a little ways. And then you can scoot back in. Other side, when I'm working around my ears, I keep my razor blade, my dominant hand, but same thing again. Just keep going up. Now, for me, I don't know why, but with the way my hair grows, this side, basically my hairs don't grow quite at the same angle, so I do have to come back through and do a little bit of finder's work. And we'll throw just a little squeak of shaving cream back up here. Again, and once you're down at this point too, if you're in the shower, you don't really need to put any more shaving cream on. But so at this point, guys, just go back through, right, and just start following your fingers. All right, you will feel any hair that you didn't get, and just go right behind it. Go right behind your fingers. All right. And then at some point you'll find there's parts where things grow in different directions. There's whatever this is called, like the crown of your hair or something like that, where it grows out, 360'd out. That part's will always take you a second or two to deal with. Yeah, this one part of my head, the hair grows just very differently than everywhere else. But yeah, so guys, just go slow, be gentle with it. And you'll be fine. Now, what do you do when you cut yourself? The first thing you don't do is panic. There is no reason for that. There is basically zero chance that with a safety razor that you're going to cut your scalp so bad that it requires medical intervention, okay? Odds are it's just going to bleed a bunch. If you cut yourself good, which I get every now and again, I get myself pretty good. It's usually because I listen to music when I'm in the shower. I'm sure my whole neighborhood can tell you about that. So sometimes, I'll start headbanging while I'm shaving, and usually it goes fine, but every now and again, it doesn't. So what's likely going to happen when you cut yourself? If you get yourself really good, you're just going to notice a stream of pink that just kind of runs down your body and, into the tub if you're shaving in the shower. It's not going to stop bleeding, most likely, until you get out of the shower for a little bit. So don't panic. Scalps bleed. That's what they do. They just, by this point in one's life, I would think most of you guys would know that, but not everyone apparently does. Guys, you cut yourself, don't start panicking. You'll be fine. What I typically do when that does happen to me, I put my finger over that spot, and then I immediately start shaving everywhere else around it. That way I can stay away from it while I finish the rest of my scalp. That's really all you can do for it. Like I said, you're gonna bleed. It's just that simple. You're gonna bleed. So let it happen. Finish up what you're doing, get out of the shower, dry off, and then, hold a paper towel up there or something on it for a little while. It'll stop bleeding. You will be fine. Do not panic. Lord have mercy. And even if it seems like you're bleeding to death in that shower, you're not. Not from a cut with a safety razor. You're just not. All right. Just carry on. And guys, it's not complicated. I think some of you guys are just being too violent with your razor. I think some of y'all are probably don't do that. Your scalp, don't. That's just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, like I said, sharp razor, use you some shaving cream, just real gentle, take your time, and just follow your fingers, all right? Follow your fingers so you know where you have and haven't gotten, and that way you're not constantly shaving over fresh skin that's already been shaved, because that'll lead to, oh look, I am bleeding still, or some. Can you guys tell? Actually, I cut myself 2 days ago. Actually, I cut myself, I think, 4 days ago. That's why I didn't do this video sooner. I nicked the side of that mole up there, and that's why I made that face earlier. It's because I thought it had gone all the way back down, but apparently didn't. But yeah, so there's a case in point. You cut yourself and you don't even realize it until you're out of the shower. That's another thing that may happen to you. Again, don't worry. All right, there's no reason to panic on it. Yeah. I don't recommend using Harry's razor blades. Like I said, they do say on the very bottom of the box in the tiniest of print not to use it on your scalp. A lovely place for them to put that kind of a warning, isn't it? A place where most folks would never look. I also don't recommend, they make these fancy hand shavers that are meant specifically for shaving your head, and I have seen a lot more bad reviews about those than I have good reviews. And I mean very bad reviews, because those blades are typically only 1 or 2 blades. They're not 5 that are packed together in a pretty safe way. It's really hard to genuinely hurt yourself with a safety razor. That's why it's called a safety razor. Who'd have thought? But a lot of those head razors that I've seen, they're only 1 or 2 blades. And that's very, very easy to, scalp yourself with. So I don't recommend going out and buying some fancy razor. This is as fancy as I would get. It's spending way too much on a freaking Gillette razor blade. But yeah, so I was trying to think as I was going through, like, what else to explain that some of you guys might overlook or miss or whatever, but it's really not complicated. I think the problem is that folks are trying to make it complicated. It ain't. So, yeehaw! So now that I've shown you guys how I do it, post me pictures of how it came out for you. Look at you, made it all the way to the top of Wing Mountain. This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your life. Oh.